Imagine an average American living in any state across the country. Whether you're a what baby boomer, born 1946 to 1964, Gen X, born 1965 to 1980, millennial, born 1981 to 1996, or Gen Z, born 1997 onward. Everyone is falling into the most dangerous generational financial traps. These mistakes don't just keep you broke forever. They also pass down a burden of debt and scarcity to your children and grandchildren. I've spent time running detailed compound interest models based on real historical S&P 500 data, with an average annual return of 8% before inflation, combined with realistic American life scenarios. The results are truly alarming. Most Americans, regardless of generation, are making exactly 7 brutal financial mistakes that keep them stuck below the minimum threshold of compound interest forever. That threshold is the crossover point. The moment when compound growth from your investment portfolio starts earning more in a year than the money you personally contribute. Every personal finance channel on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter loves showing those dramatic compound interest charts. A flat line that suddenly shoots up like Mount Everest. The message is always the same. Start early, stay consistent, and let compounding work for you. They deliberately hide the most important part, the hot, long, flat stretch that makes up 70–80% of most people's journey. The part where you're pushing the boulder uphill by yourself, and compounding is almost invisible. Today, we're exposing the 7 most brutal mistakes, destroying the finances of boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, with real American examples, precise year-by-year math, and clear ways to escape them so you can build massive generational wealth. Mistake number 1. Believing compound interest will work immediately, without understanding its minimum threshold. Meet Lisa, a typical millennial, 28 years old, working as a marketing coordinator in Chicago, Illinois. Gross salary, $52,000 a year. After taxes and deductions, she takes home about $380 a month. She follows all the standard advice. Automatic $500 month transfers into a reputable S&P 500 index fund. She never panic sells, doesn't pick individual stocks, and stays away from crypto. After 5 years of disciplined investing, she has contributed a total of $30,000 of her own money, but the market has only added a meager $6,738. Her portfolio sits at all $36,738. with 82% still being her own deposits. Here's the year-by-year breakdown. Year 1 contributes $6,000. Market ads just $225, about $18 a month. Not even enough for 1 month of Netflix. Year 2 adds another $6,000. Market ads, $742. Year 5, the entire year's gains are still equal to just 2 weeks of her salary. The real crossover point only arrives in year 10. Portfolio reaches 91,473 yen. That year, the market earns 6,758, the first time it exceeds her $6,000 annual contribution. From here, everything accelerates. Year 11 crosses the $100,000 mark with 7,817 in annual gains. Year 15, portfolio at $173,190. Annual gains, $13,800, more than double her yearly contribution. Year 20, $294,510, with compounding accounting for 59% of total wealth. Year 30, $745,180, where compounding delivers $565,180, 76% of the total. Boomers and Gen X often think it's too late and give up. Gen Z gets discouraged after 2-3 years because compounding isn't working. How to escape? Accept that for the first 7 to 10 years, you are the main engine. Measure progress by actual account balance, not percentage returns. Every $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 you stack is another crucial foot of runway needed for the compounding plane to take off. Mistake number 2, withdrawing from investments for emergencies without a solid emergency fund. John, a Gen X, 45 years old, software engineer in Austin, Texas, earning $85,000 a year. Started investing $700 a month at age 30. Year 4, his son had a medical emergency requiring exactly $8,000. He decided to withdraw it from his investment account. Without the withdrawal, he would hit the crossover in year 10. Because of that single withdrawal, he had to wait until year 11. By year 20, the damage reached nearly back $29,000. By year 30, over the $63,000 in lost potential growth. According to Federal Reserve data, the median retirement savings for households aged 55 to 64 is only $185,000, and half of them face similar emergency withdrawals. Millennials often withdraw for having kids, first home purchases, or job loss. Gen Z for student debt or high living costs. Boomers for supporting adult children. How to escape. Build a separate emergency fund in cash, covering 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. This isn't boring. It's critical infrastructure that protects your compounding runway. Mistake number 3, focusing only on saving and cutting expenses instead of prioritizing income growth. A baby boomer, 62 years old, retired in Miami, Florida. Throughout her career, her average salary was about $65,000 a year. She was extremely disciplined, cut travel, cooked at home, shopped secondhand, and saved $400 a month consistently for 30 years. Result? Her portfolio only reached around $420,000 because the starting base was too small. Contrast, if she had invested time in upskilling and increased her contributions by just $200 a month to $600, her portfolio could have exceeded $580,000, $650,000. Gen X and millennials often do side hustles just to spend more. Gen Z works 2 to 3 jobs but doesn't invest in themselves to raise their main salary. How to escape. Income is the strongest accelerator. 15 to 20% salary increase beats saving an extra 20% by a mile. Best in skills, certifications, job changes, or side businesses. Mistake number 4, comparing yourself to social media, highlight reels, and feeling discouraged. Mike, a Gen Z, 24 years old, freelance content creator in Los Angeles, California, earning about $48,000 a year. He scrolls TikTok and sees young people bragging, "I have $300,000 at 25 thanks to compounding." After 2 years of investing, his own compounding gains are only about $967. Feels disappointed and quits. The harsh reality, no one posts about year 5 with just $6,738 in gains. Boomers compare themselves to the real estate boom era. Millennials compare to friends who bought homes earlier. How to escape. Stop watching highlight reels. Track your own journey. Celebrate milestones like $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, and $100,000. Each one brings you closer to the crossover point. Mistake number 5, lifestyle inflation. Spending more as income rises. A millennial, 32 years old, lawyer in New York City. Her salary jumped from $70,000 to $110,000 in 5 years. She upgraded her car, moved to a more expensive apartment, and took fancier vacations. Her savings rate dropped from 15% to just 8%. Result, after 10 years, her portfolio reached only $85,000 instead of nearly $180,000 if she had stayed disciplined. Gen X falls into this with child rearing and elder care costs. Boomers think, "I worked hard my whole life. I deserve to enjoy it." Gen Z falls victim to FOMO and social media pressure. How to escape. Keep a fixed savings rate of 15 to 25%, no matter how much your income grows. Automatic transfers right after payday. Mistake number 6, emotional investing, chasing trends. Instead of long-term index fund strategy, David, Gen X, 48 years old, living in Seattle, Washington. 2021, he went all in on crypto, then chased meme stocks in 2022. He lost 40% of his portfolio, panic sold at a loss, and quit investing entirely. If he had simply stayed in a low-cost S&P 500 index fund at 8% year, he would have crossed the threshold by year 9. Boomers got burned by the dot-com bubble. Millennials chased NFTs and meme coins. And Z chases AI tokens and hot stocks. How to escape. Invest only in low-cost, broad index funds. Diversify widely. Never try to time the market or trade frequently. Discipline and patience always beat short-term luck. Mistake number 7, no plan for wealth transfer or financial education for the next generation. Robert, a baby boomer, 68 years old in San Francisco, California. He accumulated $650,000 but never taught his children about compound interest or money management. When he passed away, his kids, Gen X and millennials, spent everything in just a few years. The wealth vanished after one generation. generation. Gen Z rarely receives any guidance growing up. How to escape. Start today. Write a clear will, set up trusts, open Roth IRAs for your kids as soon as they turn 18, teach them about the crossover point, and encourage them to start investing early. Compound interest, a family legacy. So the root reasons why Federal Reserve reports show that half of American households nearing retirement have less than $185,000 in savings. It's not because they're lazy, it's because these 7 mistakes keep resetting the compounding clock right before the math is about to explode. But now you know the full truth. Compound interest is real, incredibly powerful over the long term, but it's not fair. It richly rewards those who build a large enough base and stay past the crossover point. You're not behind. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing the hardest part, laying the invisible runway that no one sees or applauds. Combine the 3 powerful levers. Aggressively grow your income, fiercely protect your base with a solid emergency fund, and track real milestones instead of comparing yourself to others. Do this, and no matter your generation, you won't just escape poverty. You'll build real wealth and pass it on to your descendants. This video changed how you see money, generational wealth traps, and the true power of compound interest. Hit subscribe right now. We always run the numbers and expose the truths that financial gurus usually hide from you, so you get the complete picture, not just the glamorous highlight reel. Smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't let these 7 brutal mistakes continue destroying your future and your families. Start building your runway today, because the crossover point is waiting for you just ahead.